All right, poll question, would you rather have the career of Larry Bird or Michael Jordan? Now, we're factoring everything in here as far as post-playing career. We factoring in college career too, Seton?
Yeah, that's their career.
Okay, I'm going to go Jordan. Championship, 6 titles in the NBA, and probably worth a couple of $100 million. So I can take the pain of not being a great basketball executive when I go home on my private jet to my mansion and I shine up my 6 trophies. So I would say I'd rather be Michael Jordan, even though Larry decorated as an executive. Seton, your answer?
Exactly the same. I'd rather be the greatest to play the game.
And very rich, too.
And very rich and have all those rings and do all that stuff, too.
He's the Bulls head coach. He's got some hardware. Coach of the year. He's Tom Thibodeau, who joins us on the Dan Patrick Show. Let me ask you the poll question there, Coach. Would you rather have Jordan's career or Bird's career?
Well, Dan, first of all, there's a lot of buzz out here in Chicago regarding Seton's poll question, and obviously strong in Jordan's favor.
Really? But if you're looking at Bird as an executive, how tough is it, do you think, for great players to be great executives?
What he's done is incredible, and you can't say enough about it. He obviously dominated as a player. Then he was great as a coach. And then when you look at what he's done there, the entire time that he's been there, they were great for a long period of time. And then they went through, the brawl and all that, and then he navigated through that, and he's got them right back on top. What he's done is just incredible.
I'm looking at the Celtics, with what they're doing now and this sense of urgency that you get these veterans who I think get it. Certainly KG, not playing like a 36-year-old guy, but as a coach, can you motivate to that, or do the veterans have to almost say, "I'll take it from here"?
Well, it was interesting. I watched the game, and they had that look right from the start, and you could almost tell. Like I thought the way Pierce started off that game, when he's attacking like that, he just had that look. When he's aggressive like that, they're impossible. And of course, what Rondo's doing and Garnett. They just, they've been through so many wars, and the thing you can't overlook is Ray Allen. And even though he only scored a bucket, the floor is going to be spread when he's out on the floor. And those 4 guys, that's the core of their championship team. And of course, Doc, that team is very, very dangerous.
What about Rondo in the defensive philosophy that you try to? What's the approach for Rondo?
The thing is, there's really no defense for him. He's an offense unto himself. You can defend him perfectly and defend their team perfectly, and he'll still find a way to create a good shot for somebody. He's got great decision-making ability. He's got great vision. He's very, very smart. He knows how to read defenses. He knows what you're trying to take away. He knows where the holes are. And he was in an attack mode right from the start of that game. So I thought their aggressiveness, and that was probably the biggest thing. Their entire team, they came out and they were so intense to start that game. And it gave them great energy. I thought they attacked on both offense and defense.
He's Tom Thibodeau, the Bulls head coach, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Did you take heat after what happened with the playoffs, Derrick Rose's injury? How did the Chicago media treat you after the season ended?
Part of it. They're fine. The media here is they're fair. It was disappointing that we lost, but I certainly was not disappointed in our team. I thought our team battled all year. It was one of those years. We had injuries that we had to deal with. Derek was out for 27 games. There was probably a handful of other games that he played maybe the first quarter in. Our starters played in 15 games this year. Rip missed 38, Luau missed 12, CJ missed 17. So that was the type of season that it was. And I thought our bench responded extremely well all season long. Now, obviously we were disappointed in the end, but, sometimes that's the way it is. And if you have everyone giving everything they have, you can't ask for anything more than that.
I did question it when I watched the game when Derek was still in there, because I thought, and I know you guys had blown some leads, but I kept thinking he's been out. Do you want to save him, obviously maybe get his legs, or do you want to get him more minutes? And I'm watching the game saying, I think this game's in hand. Is that fair, though, to look at this and say, looking at hindsight here? How many times have you replayed that to say?
Well, you don't work backwards. And the thing is, during that game, it was a 20-point lead that had gone down to 12 rather quickly. So it was obviously going the wrong way for us. But when I look back, I would not have done anything different. And it was unfortunate. It happened. It's not a death sentence for Derek, and it's not a death sentence for our team.
Last time you talked to him?
Yesterday.
And how's he feeling?
He's in really good spirits, about as good as can be expected. He's got a great support system. Fortunately, his family is here in Chicago with him. He's got an incredible family. And Derek's just an incredible person. The way he approaches everything, he's a fierce competitor. He's already looking forward to his rehab. He's already gotten started on that, and he knows what's in front of him, and he's focused on his improvement.
What's the time frame on that?
And it's hard to say. With each guy, it's different. Dr. Cole is our team doctor, and he performed the surgery, and he's saying that it could be anywhere from 8 to 12 months. But, we're not going to rush him. When he's ready to go, he's ready to go. But we'll just take it step by step.
Any possibility of, long-term, residual aftershocks here? Anything that stays with him? Or, can they say complete recovery here for somebody like that?
We expect him to make a complete recovery. And again, he's a diligent worker. And as I said, he's a fierce competitor, and and I don't know. It appears that there's more and more of these ACLs now, and guys come back completely. So, his brother had a similar injury in '95, and I think that'll help him in getting through things. But he's, we're expecting him to make a full recovery and come back and be as good as ever.
What were your expectations for this team?
Well, the two things I think that you have to have going into the playoffs, you have to be playing well, and I think you have to be healthy. And we were hopeful. As I said, we only had our starters for 15 games, and Rip got back for the last month, and we were hopeful. Derek had just started playing again, and we thought we had enough. We thought, we could make a championship run, and that's what we were shooting for. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and so we have to regroup.
How painful is it to watch the playoffs now?
It is painful, but that's the way it is. So there are some great games. You study and you're watching and you're trying to learn more about the teams. But I think there's some great games going on, and again, I think injuries are a big part of the season. You look at what's with Bosch going down in Miami, and there's a lot of teams. So I think it's completely up for grabs. I think the two teams out west that are you have to really look at the way Oklahoma City and San Antonio are playing, and they're playing extremely well. And in the East, I think when you're looking at Miami and Indiana, and I don't think you could overlook Indiana. I don't think you could overlook Boston. I still think Philadelphia is very dangerous. So there are a lot of great games out there.
Well, try to enjoy the off season there, and we appreciate you joining us, Coach.
Okay, Dan. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Tom Thibodeau, the Bulls head coach.